Hello YouTube model building community. Dwayne here, Badman Scale Customs, doing a bench update, and it's been a long time since I've done a video, so a little bit to catch up on anyhow. So I'll just give you an idea of what I got going on here at the start of the new year. Hope everybody had good Christmas, New Year's, and didn't get too out of control. I know I didn't. So anyhow, I'll show you what I got going on. And for starters, we'll start with what my lovely family got. Dear old dedicated dad for Christmas here. So got the 70 Monte Carlo AMT kit. It's fairly new out here, so I've got that. I haven't started it yet, but naturally I've opened the plastic on it. Did the inspection of all the goodies in there. Also, this was also under the tree, the Kenworth wrecker truck. That I have started, so I'll give you an idea where we're at with that. But first I wanted to show you another project that I've got nearly finished. Just a little bit of body work to do on it, and hopefully within the next 2 or 3 weeks I'll have that all finished up, and then when I do, I'll do a final video on that one. So the one I'm currently working on is this is a 68 Dodge Dart Revell kit that I got going. Doing like a 3-tone paint job on this car, where it's obviously blue, doing a black, just a thin black strip border, I guess, around there, and then I'll be painting the main panel in there silver. And I've decided to, I will put all the decals that come with the kit on it, with the exception of the orange or red panel decal. So I'll do it up as a race car, so that'll be kind of cool. Interior tubs all finished, ready to go there. Not a whole lot of detailing in there. I was going to keep it all box stock, but I ended up putting a piece of clear plastic on over the speedometer and that without thinking, so it's no longer box stock. So since I was no longer box stock, I decided to go ahead and wire the engine there. So it's coming pretty good. Got the tires all done and stuff. Had de-chrome the wheels on it and re-chrome them with the all clad. The air cleaners I re-chromed, and valve covers I did as well. So that's the chassis there. Also, I had lost the drive shaft for it somehow and made up a new one, and then after I had it all built and painted, I found the original one, so I went ahead and painted that up. So, but anyhow, there's a look at the hood. It's got the Hemi scoop going on there. So with the hood there, I still have yet to do the hood pins and do a final wet sand and buff on that, but it's coming well. Rear bumper, I re-chromed it as well. There was like a hair or something that looked like it was in there, so I stripped that and re-chromed it. Front bumper, I did not re-chrome. Chrome on it's real nice, so I'll stay with that. And then also painted up the front grille on it, so it's all finished, ready to go as well. And I had lost one of the lenses for the turn signals. So I ended up, I attempted to use some super glue actually to make lenses for it. They didn't really turn out that well, so eventually I did find the lens. Right when I was about ready to give up looking for it, I found the lens, and so I was able to put the proper lenses in there, which has turned out a lot nicer than it would have trying to make them. So and that is pretty much it. The rest of the stuff's painted and ready to go. That's firewall. Little bits here and there. I still have once the body's painted, I still have all the chrome trim to do, and door handles, mirrors, all that kind of stuff. So it'll take a little bit to get that car finished, but it's pretty close. So also now with that, since there hasn't been much progress obviously since Christmas Day, because I pretty much got to work straight away on the Kenworth here. So I'll just point the camera down and give you a little idea of some of the stuff that I got finished up for it. So I got the frame all painted here, assembled and painted, cleaned up. Just going to detail the airbags on it, and I can assemble the rest of it. Got the rear axle assemblies are all done and painted. Drive shaft that goes between the two rear axles, and some other miscellaneous parts. Got some shocks are all painted. I got the engine assembled. I still haven't got it in primer yet, but it's ready to go to primer. And also I started to work on the hood. There's some areas that needed some attention on the hood, mainly this area out in here, right around the headlight, bezels, a little bit of filling to do in there, and of course your dreaded injector pin marks, which I'm got a little bit more sanding on the underside to do here, and then I'll give that a shot of primer, see what it all looks like. I suspect I'll have to do a little bit more sanding and filling there on it, which is the usual procedure. So that's right now, that's pretty much what's on the bench. I have done a little bit on finishing the Diamond Rio build that I was doing for the Showtime Studios build off, which had a bit of a disaster with dropping the sleeper and with the wet clear on it. So I've started doing some sanding on getting it back to I still got quite a bit here to do, and it's pretty slow going on it. And then I'll have to do some touch-ups on the back side there, but you know, that darn sleeper, that thing just gave me trouble right from the beginning. It's cursed. I also disassembled the cab because I wasn't quite happy with the way the windshield turned out on it, so I'm going to do some more work on getting the windshield a little nicer on it. And also I have to do some work once the cab's assembled. I'm going to have to do some filler panels where the firewall meets the floor pan on the cab there. Once I get that all done, I'll do video on that as well. So, but otherwise, I mean, that most of that truck was finished, and just since the summer I hadn't had a whole lot of time. Plus, you know, you kind of you want to move on to other things a little bit sometimes too. So I've got all of that. Really, also I've done some work on the Baldwin Motion Camaro that I think probably had the last video on it. Now I don't really remember exactly where I was at on it, and maybe what I'll do here, since this video doesn't seem to be too long, I'll just give you a little update. I'll do proper update on it here in a week or so, because I did actually manage to get to speak with Joel Rosen, uh, the original owner of the Motion Performance, who built all the cars, and got some good information from him on some of the finer details on the chassis and driveline part of that. So I'll go into that a lot more on the next video, but in the meantime I'll just show you I got the body in green now, so I gotta get the stripes painted on there. I'll paint the stripes on this car. I don't, white decals always seem to turn out not fully white because they're a little transparent, so I will paint the decals on this car. And I did open the trunk on it, mainly because I found out that they did mount the fuel pumps for these cars in the trunk, so I decided to go ahead and do that. And then of course now I'm at the point where I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm gonna fully detail the trunk on it, which will be a bunch of scratch building if I do, and I probably will, because I don't know, I guess it's a bit of a long-term project, but I want to do that car do it right. So but as far as that car goes, I also got the wheels ready to go on it. Had to re-chrome the wheels on it too, and I did the letters. I like to do the letters on them, just adds that extra detail. Here's the front one, and they turned out pretty good, so I don't know if you can see that too well, but anyhow, got those all finished up, and I've done some more because I had to open the trunk. Started work on filling the trunk panel area in there. So again, like I say, I have a little ways to go with that now. I've decided to detail out the trunk quite nicely. I just go off some pictures off the internet. And let's see what else. Probably haven't gotten too much further with that car, but if I remember correctly, the body hadn't even been in primer, and there was a lot of body work to do on that body. There was most of it was on the passenger side, but I had to get this trim or whatever, the lip for in the front wheel housings here, they didn't line up properly, so I had to do a bunch of sanding and a little bit of filling. Use some styrene to fill in this area here to get the curve nice on theirs. But anyways, it worked out pretty good. It's all nice and straight and aligned properly. There was a big sink right in the lower, almost like in the rocker area here, that and again I had to fill that with styrene and get that all sanded and leveled nice, and so it came out quite good. The headlight bezels, they didn't line up either very well, so do a little work up front there. There's a lot of body work on this car to get it perfect. So if anybody's got any, or if you're doing this kit and you got any questions that you want specifics on, just let me know. You work on it and you get everything, and just when you think you got it nice and you're sitting there staring at it, you see something else that needs to be fixed on it. And so, but it took quite a while to get that nice, but I'm really happy with the way the bodies come out on that car now. So And I've just finally think I got all the materials that I'm going to need to build the Hone overdrive unit for it. And I'll get started on that pretty pretty soon. I think I'll do that. I like to keep all these projects moving a little bit at a time. So Camaro's a long-term one. The Dart that one will be finished soon. I was actually trying to finish that one before the end of the year, so that I could say that I actually did finish a model, but I didn't. I sure started a lot of them though. So, but anyways, 2016 will be a little different for me because all the stuff that hopefully that I started, I should be able to finish up most of it anyhow, and get a few new kits on the go. You know, it's always nice to start a new one. The reason I started the Dart was because I hadn't been on the bench for quite a while, and you know, just kind of, you know, I watched Chris Chapman video, and what he says was spot on. Is you got all these unfinished projects sitting there, and it's hard to get motivated to jump back in on them. And sometimes what you need is a fresh, brand new build rate that you start from new, and that gets you going again. And that really has got me going again here now. So doing the Dart was what got me going again, and now I'm going, and I got a lot of stuff on the go. So hopefully 2016 I'll finish a few more kits than I did in 2015. And anyhow, that's pretty much what I got for now. So I'll keep you updated on progress on the truck, and I'll do the final video on the Dart when I'm finished it, and also we'll get a video to look forward to on some information, more history, and so forth on the Baldwin Motion Camaro. So anyhow, have a good one, guys, and we'll see you soon.